Mel Gibson, Mark Wahlberg, and Dana White have all been canceled for speaking to and possibly even shaking hands slash looking at respectfully Donald Trump. It doesn't make any sense to me, but that's not the only reason why they were canceled. They were also canceled because of things such as Sound of Freedom, because Mel Gibson was involved in the promotion of that movie, and I believe he was involved behind the scenes in the creation of the movie as well. And also, Mark Wahlberg also promotes things such as that. He's a Christian in Hollywood. I think he's actually a Catholic in Hollywood, so it's very difficult for those types of people. So it's not a coincidence why certain people constantly get canceled, why certain people always get called out by people like Jack White. And we'll go over that. I don't think Jack White is smart enough to know exactly why he's calling Mel Gibson out, why he's calling Mark Wahlberg out and Dana White. I don't think he's like, yes, we must take down these Christians within Hollywood. We must take them down because they try to go after child trafficking and things like that. I think he just simply regurgitates the talking points that CNN, MSNBC, all the other woke media out there, he regurgitates all of their talking points. That's where this comes from. And those outlets, CNN, MSNBC, they are run by people who are smart enough to know exactly why they're canceling Mel Gibson, Mark Wahlberg, and the other ones who promote Christianity and try to get rid of child trafficking, because they want to participate in those really disgusting things. They want to take down the people who are trying to take them down by simply being Christian and trying to take down stuff like child trafficking in movies like Sound of Freedom and other things that Mel Gibson is doing in the future as well. Let's get into this article though and see why Mel Gibson and Mark Wahlberg are being canceled by Jack White for interacting with Donald Trump. Celebrities being friendly with Trump normalizes fascism and racism, musician Jack White claims. Let's check out this post here. Musician Jack White uncorked a hot take to end all Trump hot takes. Donald Trump appeared at UFC 290 this past weekend and walked into T-Mobile Arena to an electric entrance as the fans went wild. The crowd absolutely ate it up as Trump strolled in with Dana White as Kid Rock's American Badass blasted through the arena. While at the fighting event, Trump even took time to speak with Mel Gibson, Joe Rogan, Mark Wahlberg, and many other people. Let's check out this Instagram post from Jack White that was trying to cancel all these people. Mel Gibson, Mark Wahlberg, Joe Rogan, even Guy Fieri was involved in this post, man. Anybody who normalizes or treats this disgusting fascist, I'm not going to say that word too many times, con man, disgusting piece of crap, Trump with any level of respect is also disgusting in my book. That's you, Joe Rogan, Mel Gibson, Mark Wahlberg, and Guy Fieri. This is a statement from me, not a discussion or a debate. Jack White. So this is the kind of people, like I said, not smart enough to know exactly why he's going after people like Mel Gibson and Mark Wahlberg and why they're in big pictures right here, even though they didn't really like put on a show. Like they weren't saying, oh, praise you, Donald Trump, I'm so glad that you're here. They were just showing respect. And Joe Rogan simply shook the guy's hand. Same with Guy Fieri. Like if Donald Trump, a former United States president, walks up to you and wants to shake your hand, is Joe Rogan supposed to say, no, I'm not shaking your hand, Donald Trump, I'm sorry, I disagree with your politics, so I refuse to show you respect? Like serious? Like would we expect anybody to do that with any other former president of the United States? No, the answer is no, but it's ridiculous. And you know why? Like I said, it's because he's not part of the establishment and he wants to take down really dark things such as like the movie Sound of Freedom is doing. He supports things like Sound of Freedom and we see what they're doing to that movie. We see what the woke media is doing to that movie. It's all connected, I promise you, because like I said earlier, Jack White is not smart enough to know why he's doing this. He's regurgitating talking points that CNN, MSNBC, and the rest of the woke media fed him. These aren't original ideas. And then he posts pictures of Joe Rogan shaking Donald Trump's hand, Guy Fieri shaking Donald Trump's hand, like this is some expose. Dude, they see the thousands of people in the arena. They know that people are going to see them shaking hands with Donald Trump. Like you're not exposing them for shaking hands with the former president of the United States. Here's Mel Gibson over here saluting Donald Trump. Shout out to Mel Gibson, man. The guy's awesome. And then here's Mark Wahlberg talking to Donald Trump. So showing him respect is apparently a cancelable offense nowadays. And like I said, this is why. Mel Gibson calls for an end to child sex trafficking. The future is our children. It's stuff like this why they want to cancel Mel Gibson. It's stuff like Sound of Freedom why they want to absolutely get rid of anybody involved in that movie, Mel Gibson included, but they're not going to. Because Sound of Freedom had a $14.5 million budget and it made over $40 million in its opening week. That's why you're not going to get rid of them, because whenever you make movies with good messages, especially if it's a well-made movie like Sound of Freedom is, whenever you make movies like that, you're going to be successful. You're going to make more than double your budget in the first week because people appreciate a good message nowadays. It's not often that they come around. Hollywood doesn't often give good messages out anymore because they're ran by evil people who want to take down people like Mel Gibson, like Mark Wahlberg. So they feed everybody like Jack White these talking points to where they must be canceled for shaking hands with Donald Trump, who also wants to take down these evil people. Mark Wahlberg has this article here. Mark Wahlberg on being a Christian in Hollywood. I will not hide the fact that I love the Lord. I wonder why they would want to take out Mark Wahlberg. And I wonder why they would want to take out Mel Gibson for saying he wants to end child sex trafficking. It's so obvious what these people are trying to do, and why they want to cancel people like Joe Rogan and Guy Fieri for shaking hands with Donald Trump, because they want to make the man seem like he's the worst person to ever live, because he also supports things such as Mel Gibson supports, such as the movie Sound of Freedom. He wants to support those things. He wants to end what these evil elites are trying to do to children. He wants to end stuff like that, so they want to take him out. It's very obvious what's going on, in my opinion. Let me know what you think in the comments about Jack White trying to cancel Mel Gibson, Mark Wahlberg, Joe Rogan, and Guy Fieri, and Dana White. All the people who interacted with Donald Trump that night, he wants to cancel them. Let me know what you're thinking about them trying to cancel everybody for interacting with Donald Trump in the comments.